Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the GAIL India Limited Q1 FY22 earnings conference call hosted by Yes Securities. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then zero on your touchtone telephone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Nitin Tiwari from Yes Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Karuna. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Yes Securities, I welcome everyone to GAIL India Limited's first quarter FY22 earnings call. Today we have the pleasure of having with us the senior management team from GAIL India Limited, led by Director of Finance, Shri A.K. Tiwari. I will now hand over the call to the management for their opening comments, which shall be followed by a question and answer session. Over to you, sir.
So, good afternoon, my dear friends from investors and analyst community connected through WebEx. A very good afternoon and welcome to the GAIL earnings call Q1 FY22. Thank you all for taking your precious time and showing keen interest in the results and performance outlook of GAIL. We have declared the results of the first quarter and the year 21-22 earlier today, and I'm sure that you must have got the opportunity to go through it. I will give you a very brief insight of the company's performance for the quarter ending 30th June 2021. Due to localized restrictions and lockdowns imposed by the various state governments to curb the impact of second wave of COVID-19, the demand in certain pockets were slightly impacted in the quarter as compared to the March quarter. However, the performance is much better as compared to Q1 of the last financial year when we witnessed a nationwide lockdown. I will share about the physical performance for the year of Q1 FY22 versus Q4 FY21. Gas marketing stood at 95.95 mmSCMD in Q1 FY22 as against 91.37 mmSCMD in Q4 FY21, increase of 5%. The natural gas transmission stood at 107.66 mmSCMD in Q1 FY22 as against 109.75 mmSCMD in Q4 FY21, decrease of 2%. The capacity utilization decreased to 52% in Q1 FY22 as against 53% in Q4 FY21. Polymer production stood at 133 TMT in Q1 FY22 as against 224 TMT in Q4 FY21, which is decline of 41%. The decline was mainly attributable to the maintenance activities during the quarter. The plant is now running at full capacity and we are confident to achieve 100% production capacity on a full year basis. The polymer sale stood at 138 TMT in Q1 FY22. Similarly, the LHC sale stood at 250 TMT in Q1 FY22 and LPG transmission stood at 1023 TMT in Q1 FY22. Now, I would like to give the financial highlights. GAIL achieved gross turnover of 17,352 crores in the current quarter as against 15,472 crores in Q4 FY21. Increase of 12%, mainly due to increase in the natural gas marketing volume, higher natural gas prices, higher LHC prices, which is around 2,500 per metric ton, and higher petrochemical prices, which is around 4,500 per metric ton. However, this was partly set off due to the lower sales quantity and polymer and marginal reduction in the natural gas transmission volume, which I have already explained. The profit before tax stood at 2,054 crores in Q1 FY22 and as against 2,612 crores in Q4 FY21. The gas marketing segment has shown a robust performance, which increased to 33%. PBT was 1,530 crores in Q1 FY22 as against 1,908 crores in Q4 FY21. I will talk about the consolidated financial results, Q1 versus Q4 FY21. The turnover in Q1 FY22 is 17,551 crores as against 15,677 crores in Q4 FY22. The PBT was 2,550 crores as against 3,219 crores and the PAT 2,138 crores as against 2,487 crores. During the quarter, GAIL received 23 LNG cargo from US, 14 from Sabine Pass and 9 from DCP as per the cargo plan. The total 15 cargoes were sold in the overseas market and the remaining were brought to India either directly or through destination swap. On CGD front, GAIL is supplying gas to all 6 CGDs with infrastructure of 80 CNG stations and more than 136,000 DPNG connections with a cumulative capex of 832 crores. GAIL Gas, which is subsidiary of 100% subsidiary of GAIL, during Q1 FY22, the gross turnover stood at 1,212 crores. If you talk about the capex plan, we have, as I have already informed number of times, that we have in the coming 4 to 5 years, we have around 8,000 kilometers of pipelines which are there, and around including the JVs and subsidiaries which are associated with GAIL, and around 40,000 crores of the capex which are there. So these capex plans are being achieved mainly on the various pipeline projects. Srikakulam-Angul pipeline, 744 kilometers with an investment of 2,700 crores, and the completion is July 22. Dhamra-Haldia pipeline, 240 kilometers, investment of 1,200 crores, completion is November 22. Mumbai-Jharsuguda pipeline, 1,755 kilometers, investment is 7,800 crores. Gas pipeline infrastructure in the northeast state, 1,650 kilometers, investment 9,300 crores. Vijaipur-Auraiya 174 kilometers is already commissioned, and Dhamra-Angul, Bokaro-Angul, Durgapur-Haldia, Barauni-Guwahati, all these pipelines which are there are under active execution plan, and we are doing. So far as Pradhan Mantri Urja Ganga pipelines are concerned, our total commitment is 14,916 crores, and our actual capex is around 11,600 crores. We have been receiving the capital grant from the government on regular basis, and till that we have received the capital grant of 4,487 crores. As I have already told that GAIL along with the JV is executing various pipeline projects of 8,000 kilometers, entailing around 38,000 to 40,000 crores. So far as the CSR plans are concerned, various programs on health and sanitization, education, skill development. So we are doing more than 2% of our profit on the CSR projects. Our plants have run safe and we have ensured that the safe operation is there. We have zero major reportable incidents during the last 4 years, and we are monitoring our HSE performance regularly, and all our efforts are being taken. We are also taking various initiatives on the digitization, which has satisfaction to the employees as well as the vendors, customers, contractors, suppliers, and all, including our retired employees. So we are having various initiatives for satisfaction or for taking care of the stakeholders through our various initiatives. And we have also taken various measures during this pandemic situation and taking various welfare measures to our employees as well as to our retired. So that way, 360-degree stakeholder management we are trying to have. And this was the brief introduction on the financial results and major highlights of the company. I would be happy, my team is there. I would be happy for your questions, and we will be happy to reply for that. Over to you.
So we can take the Q&A now, the question and answer session.
Sure.
Yeah,
yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and one on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may please press star and two. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Thank you. The first question is from the line of Prabal Sen from Centrum Broking. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir, for your time. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, on the Petchem, you mentioned that despite the obviously the decline that has happened in this quarter, you are confident of achieving full capacity utilization for the full year. Just wanted to understand, does that imply that for the full year we should still assume overall volumes to touch close to 800,000 tons despite the shortage in this quarter, sir?
Yes. See, every year there is a annual maintenance plan which we normally take after close of the account year, April, May or June.
Right.
So in the month of April, we took the opportunity of this pandemic situation, and we also closed we had our maintenance also, regular maintenance also. And that way we completed our maintenance. That's why the production was less. But we are more than 100% confident to achieve more than 100% of the plant production. Be assured.
Got it, sir. That's very useful. The second question was with respect to transmission volumes. Obviously, we have seen, as you mentioned in the first comment, that the lockdown did impact demand in certain pockets, and there was a small QOQ decline that we saw in volumes for this quarter. Earlier, if I remember, sir, you had given guidance of around, I think, 5-6 MMSCMD improvement in overall numbers for FY22. Do you think there is a need to revise that guidance, sir, as of now?
No. Actually, what happened, our own volume was up, but people's volume, the volume which are being transported by other entities was less.
Right.
That was the reason of the volume. Otherwise, the performance that way, the transmission segment was good.
So against 104 odd MMSCMD that we, sir, did in FY21, we still maintain our broad guidance of around 110, 111 average levels for 22.
More than that. It will be more than that because our own volumes are getting increased with the upcoming of fertilizer plants which are already there and which may consume gradually the volume of around 8 to 12 MMSCMD. So that is going to add the volume. not only in the transmission segment but also in the trading segment. So that's we
Sure,
are
sir.
confident to achieve more than 110.
Great. And sir, one last question, if I may. On the trading front, obviously the numbers continue to do better given what we have seen of, spot LNG prices versus US prices. So in this quarter, that is Q2, I'm saying, that trend has improved even more. Is that a fair way to look that profitability should continue to expand even more from the current quarter level for the trading segment?
It will be much better. Yes. Hello.
So the current participant is moved out of the queue. We'll move to the next question. That's on the line of Amit Rustagi from UBS. Please go ahead.
Sir, congratulations for such a strong performance despite a very tough, operating environment. My question pertains to any update on the fertilizer plants if you have taken and what is the volume we will do in the Urja Ganga project in this year and next year.
See, in the Urja Ganga pipeline project, our Sindri, Gorakhpur, these fertilizer plants which are coming up, the volume growth will be around 8 to 10 mmSCMD in a gradual manner. And commissioning of these Gorakhpur plants and Sindri plants and other plants are actively being planned. So in this financial year, it will be 8 to 10 mmSCMD growth will be there.
Okay. And sir, when spot LNG prices are touching $14, you think that it hurts our petchem profitability as well because we import a lot of natural gas as a feedstock for the petrochemical business? And do we get any benefit of higher LNG prices in our trading business right now? Are we booking more volumes for the next year, or do we have any cargoes to be sold for this year?
No, number one question is your petrochemical pricing are concerned. So we are not dependent on the spot cargoes or spot prices. We have mixed portfolio, and which are better for the petrochemical plants. We supply the gas of that portfolio only. So that way, we have, as you know, we have US volume, you have Gazprom, we have spot also. We have so many sources. So that way we optimize, and we also have that portfolio being used for the petrochemical. So that I think with the current prices of petrochemical and with the market condition, we are going to have better realization in the petrochemical.
Okay. And sir, what about the impact of higher LNG prices on our trading portfolio? Do we get any substantial profitability in this year or next year because of higher JKM prices?
Sure. Whatever the portfolio is there on the indexation differences, as well as the prices which are there, the volume which are there, the strategy we have, including our destination swap as well as the hedging, certainly it is going to increase.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. And sir, wish you all the best. And I wish everyone stay safe. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Vidyadhar Ginde from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon to all. My first question is regarding the first quarter trading, gas trading. So just wanted to ask that in first quarter, you had stated on your last earnings call that some volumes were tied up when oil prices were lower. So was a higher proportion of trading volume in first quarter tied up when oil prices were lower, and will that proportion reduce as we go from Q2, Q3, Q4?
See, that way I can't answer your point because each cargo its own strategy, which are tied up, which are being sold in the international market, or which are having destination swap, as well as so many other things are there. So that way an answer can't be.
No, sir, where I'm coming from is
No, let me finish.
Yeah, please.
See, I would like to just inform to the all investors, including you, that we will be doing better as we have done prior to means previous years also. We will be doing better in the gas marketing segment.
Previous years means, sir, when you are saying previous, you are saying you are better than your best year, which is FY19.
FY19, 18, 19. 19.
Yeah, so you will do better than that also, you are saying? Okay, so the...
ये मैं confidence आपको दे रहा हूँ. बाकी आपको cargo wise detail चाहिए तो आप आइए.
Cargo wise नहीं चाहिए, sir. What I was trying to understand is that as oil prices were moving up, you must have been more keen to first tie up volumes even when oil prices were somewhat lower for first quarter. But you may not have been in so much hurry to tie up volumes for Q2, Q3, Q4, and that is where my question was, that was larger proportion of, was it tied up when oil prices were, let's say, 54, 55 or something, the futures, and are smaller proportion of volumes in Q2, Q3 tied up when oil prices were? That was my question. But if you don't want to answer, that's fine.
नहीं, मैं आपको आंसर देखिए 4 सालों से मैं आपको आंसर दे रहा हूँ. आप सुनिए मेरी बात. आपका डर हमेशा रहा है और मैं आपको ये बताने की हमेशा कोशिश किया हूँ कि भाई हम बेटर कर रहे हैं और रिजल्ट में आ रहा है बेटर. अब इससे ज्यादा मैं क्या बताऊँ आपको?
सर, मेरा व्यूज, आई हैव probably one of the most bullish guys for this year and next year, if you see my reports. So that is where I'm coming from. So that is where I'm coming from, that the first quarter performance was lower than my expectation. So which is where I was trying to understand.
नहीं, वो थोड़ा सा pandemic or other things might have impacted. Our strategy could have been, hedging could have been. So mix होता है, थोड़ा बहुत volume में रहता है. But this quarter, Q2 onward will be better.
And so the spot LNG spread for Q2, Q3, Q4 is much better, and that's going to help you for sure. Will that be one of the key factors which will help you do much better in the going forward?
Yes.
Lastly, on so basically in your numbers, if we see, you have a gas marketing number, one in standalone and one on console, which in the last 2 quarters the console number is higher. So is that what you capture incrementally in console? Is it your Singapore or other entity, marketing entities outside India?
Yes. That console includes that also.
And that is the number one should look at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Pinakin from JP Morgan. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. So my first question is, can you give us a sense of what was the blended gas cost in the petchem business and how it will trend over the next 2 to 3 quarters? Because we have a situation where spot LNG prices are surging and could even move higher, and crude is also surging. So just to understand the petchem business profitability.
See, with the current prices and with the portfolio we have, we will optimize the profitability of petchem.
So, sir, the profitability of petchem should stay at these levels or come off because gas prices are increasing and headline PE prices are flat. So volumes will increase, but will the profitability per ton improve?
See, we have mixed portfolio of different gases, different portfolio of sourcing also. That will optimize the sourcing of gas for the petrochemical.
Understood. So fair enough.
So our profitability will be of the last year level or more better than that.
Understood, sir. So my second question is...
And with the prices trend as we have seen this 95,000 or so per metric ton, expected to go up.
Understood. So my second question is basically on gas demand in India. Now, after 2 to 3 years, spot gas prices are surging and we are still not yet in the peak season of tightness. Crude prices are high. Now, a substantial part of India's gas demand is met via spot LNG imports. So in that context, sir, should we see some kind of softness in India's overall gas demand? And related to that, sir, when you are talking about the fertilizer plant starting up, what is the gas source for the fertilizer plants? Will they be buying spot LNG or have they already tied up for crude link contracts?
See, so far as the GAIL is concerned, we have long-term contracts. We will be giving the gases or the supplies to the fertilizer plants through our long-term contracts, which is already there as per the agreement. And so far as the spot prices are concerned, spot market are concerned, that we'll see wherever the optimization is there, wherever the requirement is there, we'll do. We have substantial volume which has been tied up on the long-term basis. So we are not dependent on the spot market. But certainly we take advantage of the spot prices, better spot prices for optimization of the profitability or selling in the international market or whatever the situation comes.
Understood, sir. And overall, do you think that gas demand in India could be softer over the next couple of quarters given where spot LNG prices are?
Because these fertilizer plants are coming, CGDs are coming, naturally the demand is there. So demand for the gas sector is going to increase. That is obvious.
Understood. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sabri Hazarika from Emkay Global. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. So, sir, basically, what we understand is that your US LNG is actually a part of your portfolio, which is blended and to various kinds of gas, and it is sold in India based on certain formula, so under certain long-term contracts. And this formula is largely oil linked. So in a way, the large portion of your marketing margin is dependent on the difference between oil linked LNG and Henry Hub linked LNG. Is that the right assessment?
No, not fully, because then we have also the portfolio which has contracted volume with the consumers also. So that way it has also. It's not only the difference between the indexation difference between the Henry Hub and the Brent link. There are other factors also.
Okay, but the formula you are saying will be like different for different customers. You are saying it may not be like a vanilla indexation.
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
And
upon the demand, but we are optimizing in all the wherever is there. We have margins and then we tie up with that.
Right. So considering that Henry Hub prices have gone up significantly in the last 3-4 months, I think it is at 4.1, 4.2 now. So is it having any impact on your gas volumes in gas margins in particular because of this increase, or you are like still protected depending on what kind of contracts you have?
Indexation difference is favorable to us.
So you consider the current increase in global gas prices not to have any adverse impact on your gas marketing portfolio?
No.
Okay, sir. And secondly, no, that's all. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Varatharajan Sivasankaran from Antique Limited. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So one on GAIL Gas, what you mentioned in terms of the number of CNG stations, can you repeat it, sir? And what is the volumes we are doing currently?
GAIL Gas. You are talking about the GAIL Gas or on own CGD?
No, GAIL Gas as well as your CGD. So what is the number of stations you have currently? And what kind of volumes are you doing?
GAIL Gas, how many? Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Right. Yeah. So in the GAIL Gas, we have more than 675,000 GPNG connections and 253 CNG stations. And at present, we are having the total sell more than 5.5 mmHCMD. But it is not only the CNG and PNG. There are other bulk customers also.
Fair enough, sir. And in your own CGD, you mentioned some numbers.
Yeah, please.
You had mentioned something about your own CGDs. 6 CGD.
6 CGDs, yeah. 6 CGDs, we have around 80 CNG stations, 136,000 DPNG connections. And we have invested around 832 crores. But since some of the cities are to be connected through our grid, our GSBTPL grid, once that is connected, more and more volume will increase. So it will take some time.
Yes. This 80 stations is what you mentioned, sir? 80?
Yes, 80 CNG stations.
Fair enough, sir. My second question is on your LNG offtake contracts with various terminals. If you can share some details as to what is the existing contracts you have.
LNG contracts with the various suppliers, you want to say?
With terminals like, in India, regas terminals, any offtake arrangements you have.
Regas terminal, so
Dahej has got 4.5, Kochi is 0.43, and we have one more agreement with Dhamra, and we have Dhamra is 1.5 million tons, and Dabhol is going to be a 5 million ton terminal that is fully operated by us. Presently, it is 2 million tons.
Very good, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Mayank Maheshwari from Morgan Stanley. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the call, sir. Just two questions from my end. One was in terms of your LPG volumes, they have recovered very well now. So is it fair to say that most of the gas supply issues of ONGC are largely behind us now?
तुम्ही ज्या व्यक्तीशी बोलत आहात त्याने तुमच्या कॉलला होल्डवर ठेवला आहे कृपया
Participants, we request you to please stay connected while we check the line for the management. Participants, you are requested to please stay connected while we have the management reconnected. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being on hold. We have the management reconnected. So over to you, and we have Mayank Maheshwari in the question queue from Morgan Stanley.
So should I just repeat my question?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So I was just checking on the LPG volumes. They have recovered very well for you this quarter. So are we kind of thinking that most of the issues that we had from supply from ONGC, that's largely behind us now?
Yeah. There is no such means. You are talking about the LPG or what is supplying ONGC?
Yeah, LPG, liquid and hydrocarbon sales have kind of recovered very well in the first quarter.
Yeah, that is sorted out. Okay. That is sorted.
So that should now kind of come up at the current run rates now going forward, correct? No major.
Yeah, almost there, near to that.
Okay. And so the second question was more related to your cost on the petchem side because of the maintenance. And can you just kind of help us understand what would be the potential cost that you've booked in for this quarter on petchem?
Potential cost related to maintenance.
Yeah, any cost that you booked in this quarter which is extraordinary?
No, that is routine type of maintenance is there. Annual maintenance, always plant maintenance are there. That is always there.
So
Not
no real
significant.
one-off cost.
Any major cost is not there. It is routine type of maintenance, oil and other things which are there, and many equipments are to be repaired. Something like that is there.
Okay.
There is no major one-off.
Mr. Maheshwari, you done with your question?
Yeah, I'm done.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Puneet from HSBC. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. So can you give some color on what is the status of the 4 fertilizer plants which are likely to commission and to draw cash from you?
So far as the 4 fertilizer plants are there, just 1 minute. These, So, about the Ramagundam fertilizer, which is already commissioned. HURL Gorakhpur plant is ready, and the volume is 1.87 MMSCMD, and they will take full volume by end of this year. HURL plant is ready, pre-commissioning activities under progress, and the volume is 1.787 MMSCMD. HURL Sindri, again the plant is ready, and they will take full by May 22, and pre-commissioning supply will come in this month only. These are the status of these 4 fertilizer plants.
So cumulatively, how much are they taking right now, and what would they take at peak?
Total will be, peak will be 10 to 12 MMSCMD. Gradually it will increase, but by May 22, I think full volume will come.
And currently, how much should we add up to all these 4?
Currently around 2.5.
Currently, taking together 2.5, around 2.5.
Okay. This is it. Yeah, my second question is, if you look at the total gas demand for the country, X of these new fertilizer plants and the new CGD, do you foresee a risk of demand going down, or do you think the demand for gas, there is enough appetite to take additional gas even with higher prices?
So demand will be up. Certainly 6 to 8% or 8 to 10% growth will be there, I expect. The coming CGDs which are there, with the coming fertilizer I have already told.
Yeah, excluding the new sources of demand.
What you are telling is that because LNG prices have gone up, would the demand still grow? So,
Are you seeing any discussion with your customers?
Yeah, from the supply side, we've got different type of gases, and some of them are not LNG, and they are still at reasonable prices, and that is why Director Finance is telling that the demand will still grow. And 5.7% is our estimate. The national figure, the macro level figure that we are talking about.
Understood. Okay. My last question is if you can comment a bit on the other income. The other income was slightly softer. What elements were missing this time?
Interest income.
Other income comprised mainly of the in Q1. We have received the refund from our tax department on Q4 on account of our interest and other things. We have settled the Vivad se Vishwas. So that's for in Q4. Tax has come down.
Yeah, but even compared to Q1 FY21, it's lower.
Q1
240 crore was, it was 241 crore, now it's about 197 crores.
Again, it was Q1 almost same, 212 crores versus 195 crores. Maybe 20 crores difference is there. It's not so Q1 FY21 versus Q1 FY21, not much of the difference is there.
Yeah, but again, steeply down compared to Q2, Q3, Q4. All 3 quarters were exceedingly good, some 720 crores in.
Because we have received the dividend and other things also.
So that didn't come through.
Dividend and the income for income tax refund.
These are the, dividend as well as the refund from the income tax department. If you like, I will share the details also. There is no problem.
Understood. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Nafisa Gupta from Bank of America. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. So my question is on the LPG segment. We see substantially higher revenues in EBITDA. Is that only on account of higher LPG prices in the quarter despite lower sales, or is there anything else?
Prices are good. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now prices were better.
So that is the only reason?
Prices were there, some volume also.
And so the volumes are down QOQ.
Price, only prices. See, for the LSC, for prices have gone around 51% if you compare with the Q1 FY 2021, which was around 28,987 and 29,000. So it has jumped to 43,000 or so. So that has impacted.
Right, but sir, if my understanding is correct, for the LPG prices, we do maintain a lag of 1 month, right, to the international prices?
Almost. Can you repeat? Almost?
So for the LPG prices, we maintain a lag of 1 month to the international prices, right?
It's a lag by 1 month as compared to the international prices.
Got it. And sir, could you, help us with the current transmission volumes in the pipelines? What would be the current rate if we compare maybe Q on Q levels?
110
present gas transportation volume is about 115 million per day.
It is around 115, 115.
Got it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Mohit Patel from Equirus Securities. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity, sir. So just one question. When is Dabhol is getting completed for 5 million ton? What is the timeline there, sir?
Is December 22. Next year we are planning, but I think December 22 mechanically it will be completed, and we are expecting that March 23 full operation will be there.
Okay. And sir, in Dhamra, you mentioned that you have booked 1.5 million ton, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when is that likely to be commissioned?
Next year Q3.
So that will be in by September, December of 2022, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Yogesh Patil from Reliance Securities. Please go ahead.
Thanks for an opportunity, sir. Sir, I have a couple of questions. As we know, the Kochi-Mangalore pipeline is commissioned and stabilized. How much volume we transmitted through this pipeline in this quarter, and how much ramp up do you expect in next 1 to 2 quarters?
For Kochi-Mangalore, I think around 2 MMSCMD? 3 million. 3 MMSCMD has been transmitted.
Okay, and any outlook for next 1 to 2 quarters or 1 year?
So we expect to maintain this or grow by about 0.5 to 1 million next 2-3 quarters.
Okay.
The other section, the section connecting Kerala to Bangalore through Tamil Nadu, that is under construction. That is the reason for this.
Okay, thanks. So second question is related to unified gas pipeline tariffs. Is there any development from the side of PNGRB, and have you heard anything, any updates from your side?
No. What was done, it is still with the PNGRB, and there is no movement further.
Okay. And the last question from my side, sir. Reliance is now producing close to 18 MMSCMD of kind of a gas from KG Basin. And how much gas is flowing through the GAIL's pipeline? Can you give us the details if you have? So, sir, we are trying to figure out if Indian gas consumer switch from the costly LNG to a domestic growing cheap gas, then will you be able to maintain the same kind of a gas transmission volume, or that share can be given to someone else like that? So just wanted to figure out how that 18 MMSCMD and how much share is flowing through your gas pipeline.
Presently, 4.5 million is flowing through our pipeline, of which about more than about 1.25 is our volume, remaining is shipper's volume.
Okay. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Vidyadhar Ginde from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. In the last earnings call, you had mentioned that for FY23, 50% of your volumes, this trading volumes you had tied up. 30% was tied up, but the positions had been kept open, and 20% was not tied up. So is the situation still the same, or it has changed?
So for this financial year, we are fully tied up now.
Yeah, no, 23, that is why I'm asking. Yeah.
For FY23 or asking?
Yeah. You had last call said 50% tied up, 30 tied up, but not position kept
Even for 23, we have tied up all cargoes. I mean, they are allocated, which means we know
as of
where
now.
these cargoes will go. Yeah.
Which was not the case last quarter when we did the last call. Is that correct?
You yourself have told the market is looking up, so things have changed.
So you have between the last call and this call tied up the balance also.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, you may please press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone.
Yeah.
We have the next question from the line of S. Ramesh from Nirmal Bang. Please go ahead.
Good evening, and thank you very much. So we would like to get some update on the Ratnagiri LNG in terms of any funds acquired, and what is the kind of expectation on the revenue and profit after tax for this year on the current volumes, and what is the kind of growth you can expect in that business once it is fully operational, say over the next 2 years?
Can you repeat?
We could not get your question.
Yeah, basically I'm asking about the Ratnagiri LNG investment you have. It's pretty much a subsidiary now for the Dabhol LNG terminal. So last year you have turned the corner and made a modest profit. So what is the kind of outlook for the revenue and profit this year given the kind of pricing you are enjoying LNG? And secondly, once the breakwater commission and you are able to do the full volume, what is the kind of growth you can expect in the Ratnagiri LNG business?
Yeah, so for 5 MMTPA, this Dabhol terminal is there. So 25 to 30% is being utilized. Last year we had done around 32 cargoes. 32 cargoes. So when the breakwater will be operational, as I think we are expecting December 22 or maybe March 23 also. So total 80 cargoes can come up. So on an average, I can say around 2,400 crores of this revenue will be there.
And no further investment required for the funding the capex?
No. Whatever is committed, that is there. 700 crores to 800 crores. That's for breakwater only.
Okay. And secondly, what is the update on your propane dehydrogenation project for polypropylene? Where are you, and what is the kind of timeline you're looking at right now in the investment?
This Usar plant,
Yeah.
plant, yeah. So that around 10,000, 9,800 or maybe 10,000 crores of the investment is there. And then we are expecting it will take 36 months, maybe 3 years from now, we can say.
So in terms of the project timeline, where are you? Have you done the feasibility study? Are you going to appoint engineering?
That is done. Licensor we have done. We are in the process of awarding major equipment suppliers and everything, even the propane sourcing, everything is under process. So
if I may ask a couple of questions there. One is on propane sourcing. What is the kind of contract arrangement you have in terms of volumes and pricing? And secondly, who is the licensor for that process?
I think we will give updates when it is concluded.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I'll join it.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Manikanta Gare from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Good evening. Just a couple of questions from my side. The first one is, you said the fertilizer plants are currently taking 2.5 MMSCMD. When did this start, sir? Is it from middle of Q1 or in Q2?
2.2 to 2.5 is the consumption of Ramagundam plant, which is online, and 0.1 is the consumption of Gorakhpur. What Director Finance had informed is that the Gorakhpur will go to full load, which is about 2.1 to 2.2 million cubic meter per day by December. And Sindri will go to Sindri and Barauni will go to full load by mid of next year, though their commissioning will start this month. That is what Director Finance had told. And Matex is likely to start offtake by next month. They will start actually this month, but that will be commissioning period since it is already a plant which had run in the past. So that is how we are expecting the full build-up of fertilizer volumes in coming months.
I understand, sir. So what I'm asking is, when is the first set of volumes were started being taken by the Ramagundam plant actually in Q2?
Ramagundam plant started consumption in July 2020. But that is commissioning phase, and because of COVID, they had some labor problem and all that. Now they have come to full load. This is what I want to inform you.
Understand.
From 5th August they have taken.
What?
At Ramagundam.
Okay,
but now it is full load.
Now it is full. Now they have commissioned, they have declared commercial operation in March, 23rd March. So after that, they are now consuming more than 2 million cubic meter per day.
Right, sir. And my last question is, when do we expect the next set of pipeline tariff revisions? So I'm asking in the context of new public consultation documents being hosted by PNGRB. I understand that the quorum is not there. So if you can provide some guidance there.
Which pipeline you are talking about?
I think Dabhol Bangalore and Vijaypur Dabhol.
Dabhol Bangalore KKMPPL tariffs were revised sometime in 18-19. And in terms of tariff order, the tariff will again be revised in 22 or 23.
Okay, so the new public consultation documents which are being web hosted now, we are expecting that to come up only in 2022?
We don't know which public consultation document has been. I don't think any public consultation document has been hosted.
They are not for GAIL tariff, GAIL pipeline tariff.
No pipeline tariff. There is no public consultation at present for any of the pipeline tariff.
No, you may be referring to the pipeline EOI that we have this thing for Swan LNG connectivity to Dahej. That is one proposal being considered as of now.
Sure, I can come back. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of H. Ramesh from Nirmal Bang. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. So in the GAIL gas business, you reported a volume of 5.5 MMSCMD. So when do you think these volumes will reflect in the margins and profit we see in other city gas companies like say Mahanagar Gas or Indraprastha Gas? What is the timeline and what is the kind of growth you expect in these volumes say over the next 2-3 years?
For GAIL gas you are talking?
Yeah.
So, as number of PNG, CNG connections are there, number of GAs they have, we expect that around 10% growth will be there.
So, but it's not reflecting in your profit numbers. So, the question I'm asking is, if you compare with other CGD companies, when do you think you'll be able to, increase the margins and returns? Because given the kind of scale you have already built up at 5 MMSCMD, I just want to get a sense in terms of the profitability of the business over scale.
There are two types of sales they are doing. One is a bulk sale also, that is not for the CNG and PNG connection. So total volume of 5.5 MMSCMD is there, but so far as the PNG and CNG connections are there, that is in the growing stage, and we expect that it will grow in the coming years.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, due to paucity of time, that was the last question. I now hand the conference over to the management for their closing comments. Over to you, sir.
Hello.
Yeah, over to you for closing comments, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you, Nitin and team. I think we have tried to give all the answers which has been asked. Now I request if some of the questions might not have been answered, as well as some of the investors want more detailed answer of any of the queries which they have, they can contact me as well as my team, and we'll be happy to provide the answer to any of the queries which are there. So thank you once again. Thank you very much to the entire team. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, members of the management. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Yes Securities, that concludes this conference call. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.